when people have a hyper-religious episode, one thing that happens is they stop consuming things, stop bathing as much. They may only shower every couple days. They don't go to IKEA buying new furniture. They're obsessed with their relationship with God. Their carbon footprint goes to virtually zero. They also claim that they are happier than they've ever been, but it ultimately has a bad ending because they have the wrong message. They're off about something. They're breaking some sort of commandment by thinking that they're Jesus, i.e. they're God. Jesus wasn't God. The fact that he was killed proves that. Now, whether he knew that he wasn't God, but as a PR campaign, took one for the team so this message would be relevant 2,000 years later, or that he was mistaken because he was without sin. And because God's perfect, someone born who never sinned would logically think, when they understand the system, that they are an extension of God, that they are God, because they're flawless. Either way, breaking a commandment knocks you out of the hyper-religious state, and you wind up incarcerated, medicated, or hospitalized. In every case. Or dead. For those that are lucky enough to not die, what they typically say is, we just want stability. They give up. They don't overcome. But anyone who had a hyper-religious experience was on the same track as Jesus and Moses and Muhammad and every other religious figure. They had the same thing, except those guys, because they met prophecy, they were able to say, oh no, but that's actually me, so confidently move forward in their journey. I'm the guy who does the same thing in 2018, and make no mistake, this is about mobilizing the entire world based off religious belief from Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, because I fit every prophetic requirement from Judaism and Christianity, and even several actually, from Hinduism and Islam. Okay? This is in response to climate change. A report was released recently, 2 days ago, that's calling for catastrophic global circumstances if we don't address climate change by 2030 in an unprecedented series of maneuvers, which they don't know because it took 6 years to even make this report. What I'm here to tell you is we don't have until 2030, we have until 2020. It happens a lot faster. So we need the entire world's carbon footprint to fall dramatically based off some catalyst, you see, some catalyst that resonates very deeply within each person, i.e. a belief in God. I'm here to tell you as the agent of God on this earth, only because I meet every prophetic requirement. You could make a case that I was immaculately conceived when I was 1. I'm here to tell you this is end of days. You're seeing it in real time. We don't have until 2030 to make a change. We have until 2020. What I offer is to eradicate illness. We're going to beat death. Maybe not in our lifetime, but certainly in our children's. Much like someone who has a hyper-religious manic episode that claims that they were happier than they've ever been in their entire life because they actually experienced their own personal heaven on earth. You're going to get your own personal heaven on earth. And anyone who's not part of this program, mark my words, you will die. It'll be some freak natural disaster, climate change driven thing. God's being surgical on this. As it stands now, the only people who are protected would be me, 144,000 Jews, and the 32 people who conducted or participated in my 2 studies of sin, benchmarked against the 10 Commandments, where I take full confessions from each of the participants. I went first. This is the Judgment Day piece. We record date, geography, or geographic location, as well as sin. There are 3 more categories. Coincidences you've experienced in your life, any charity you've given in your life, and any illness you've had in your life. And when you match those 4 things together, your sin, your illness, your charity, and your coincidences, you start to see what God's seeing and how He's communicated with you your entire life. Moving forward after that, you lock in your mind that you are being monitored, all your thoughts in real time, as well as all your actions, by the one true God, the God of Moses. When you get into that frame of mind and you understand that this is a life and death thing, i.e. if we don't solve this problem, the entire human species will go extinct, except me and 144,000 Jews, plus the 32 people who have submitted their confession so far. There's only one other person that I'm on the fence about, but I'll come back to that later. When you realize in your mind it's life and death, you've offered up all your sin publicly as a confession, you're all in on this, all of a sudden your illness goes away. Your mission moving forward is to follow any coincidence you have in your life, which will lead you to your own personal heaven on earth, and you need to get, to help me, as many confessions from as many people as possible, as well as their coincidences, illness, and what's the other one? Or whatever, I said it before. That's the name of the game. July 20th, 2020, that's our fucking deadline. Now me, I could just throw this phone away, but I'm not going to, because if I don't keep posting and don't remain faithful and true, 7.6 billion people die. Science has already lost the game. It took 6 years to come up with a report that's wrong, that uses 2030 as an end date. I'm telling you, the 6 years has been wasted because it's 2020 as an end date. That is the word of God. I do not want this role. I would like to just keep my state, go back to work, and then go have a good time with my life. I can make money very quickly. I'm excellent with people. I have a good life. The problem is, now that someone can actually articulate what he experienced when he achieved this heaven on earth, I can create a stabilized, a slightly hypomanic state globally across everyone. I'm like bumper cars, like the bumpers, to make sure people don't go off the fucking deep end and all wind up hospitalized, medicated, or incarcerated. And when you get to this psychological state, you will be happier than you've ever been in your entire life. That is a fact. That is the word of God. What would hold you back from this is fear. In my state, there is no fear, because I'm overseen by God. See that? I'm here to translate this to you and educate you on these facts, not play fucking God, because that's the first commandment. There's one God, and I'm not him. I'm his servant. I'm fucking loyal. I'm faithful. I'm true. And you mark my words, this gets done by July of 2020. And it's a calling. If you're not on board for this, it's your choice, free will. But you're gonna feel the fucking power of God.